So, hello, good evening. It's been a while, chat. I hope you're all doing very well. Of course, it is me, Chris Alien, as it always been. We are slowly but surely preparing for the new seasons in the new year, but we thought we would get some content out the channel just to give everybody a little bit of an update, and of course get the P0 action on show once more. So it looked like changeable conditions. I do apologise for the delay in getting to the commentary and the stream up, but my dinner was very delayed, and then it came literally as qualifying starts, so I had to smash down my pizza in a very short period of time to try and bring you any form of qualifying before the checker flag. So a couple of minutes left in the session. It appears to have dropped onto intermediate compound tyres, or maybe drivers just hoping that it gets that way. Still looking very, very wet. It could be inter conditions. If the inters do come into play, you'll see probably 4 to 6 seconds of lap time loss, maybe even more. So I hope you're all doing very well. I have no idea what's happening in the championship. Rob Wells is in provisional pole at the moment by 0.4 of a second to Matty. Names that I do not know. MCFC J Doyle. And I think that is it. Luke Olas was here a little bit before. And to everybody joining in and watching, hello and welcome. Thank you for coming. It's Dale 6 laps into his stint. He's got himself in P5 at the moment on the 57s. And who is this joining us? And does he realise what he's joined? Do you realise what you are joining? Do you wish an invitation to the lobby? So you can... Ah. Ah, nice. So Adam joins us. Good evening, sir. How are we? Make us all feel a little bit better. And of course my teammate Adam for the new season. Look Olas, I say. Look at it, yeah, that was. Leon Evans on the full wet compound takes 0.8 of a second out of Rob Wells, but Rob Wells is on the intermediate compound tyre now. It's very close, I think, Adam. Looking at the circuit, it's borderline kind of wet and inter conditions. Oh, and Jay Doyle gets disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location. I see he was moaning about the car not feeling the same. That could be a tyre pressures thing. You really need to ramp the pressures up in the wet. And I was going to say, a track you normally enjoy Singapore, Adam, right? But I don't think you've done Singapore in this game. So my updated opinion in these cars has made the track feel a little bit numb. Checker flag falls in the session. Rob Wells, 10th.5 down sector 1, Adam, so he needs to find a lot of time, nearly a second across the last 2 sectors. And I don't think the intermediate tyre is getting the job done. Internet connection quality is not oh, shush your face, PlayStation. It's absolutely fine. Oh yeah, just at the hairpin. I think Rob's just about to pass him now. So we'll get an idea. Yeah, I don't think the intermediate tyres is ready. Half a second down, but will Rob kick himself there, seeing how much time Leon Evans found? Should he have just put the fresh wet on and have... Oh, and he goes even faster again, down to 56... What still was a 56.4. He only found maybe 2/1000th of a second. Take a checker flag, and I think, looking at that, unless Dale can do something about it, who's almost a 10th down sector 1, I don't think much can be done. He is not. But constantly in the top 60s. Oh, and you see Skarner try to get the nose in, he goes under the bridge, but just no front end, no grip on the intermediate compound tyre. All over the curbs. And I think Is he going to see the lap out? Rob Wells retired from the session. He accepted that it was over. And I don't think Skarma is going to improve any. He's half a second down. So the wet tyre was the way. And who crossed the line behind? Did somebody jump the park? I was going to say, I thought I seen somebody move right at the end. Oh wow. So that, I think that proves that Rob's risk was maybe calculated. Rob and Skarma, the track was coming in to the intermediate competition, maybe just not quite there. And I think Dale shows that. But he was on a 7-lap old tyre and still found like 5/10 at the end of the session there. So that shows how track evolution was really starting to play a part. Yeah, he should have stuck with his instinct. He's got to be in the party with Mattelman. Matt Stratz. Don't worry, you get a full season to heckle him coming up. Let's not get too big gloom, that's months away. Oh, is that dry? Oh, it looks foggy, which is very intriguing. My food was delayed, Adam, hence the delay in the stream getting up. My food came. Naughty boy. Oh, so a formation lap. Oh, pardon me. So, Leon Evans, Rob Welsh, the front row of the grid. Dale and Matty, row 2. Lucas and Chubby Slug, row 3. EOJ and Arvin, row 4. Shiv and Skarma, row 5. Storm and Mika, row 6. And Roddles and Mr. J Doyle, row 7. A Leon Rob Wells battle. I want to see Dale get writing about this at the start. So let's have a look at tyres for the start. So Leon on the medium compound tyre, so that is not optimum. The strategy still works, medium to hard of course, but this year, this game, you really want to be doing your stint on the hard early and keep the medium for late. But we'll see how it plays out. Safety cars can always play a plenty. Oh, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure it's about 13 laps. 13 to 15, I think the pit window will be. It tends to, but it's Cody, so who knows. Oh, give me 1 second, Adam, just before we hit the grid. Just like that, I am back. So, up to the grid we go. I was going to say that he's maybe going to be one to watch, especially from that kind of midpoint in the park. He could cause a ruckus. Of course, not intended. So, the P0 Singapore Grand Prix has 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is lights out and away they go. And it seemed to be a better reaction initially from Rob Wells there, but Can Rob Wills get a side? Leon Evans? No, he can't. So it's status quo through the first couple of corners. Dale's, what's happened to Dale? Dale's fell way down the order. I think he get bogged down off the start. He's down to P7 on his hard compound tyre. Maybe just trying not to get caught up in any issues, but he's got to get the elbows out. He got that quality on merit, so he's... Oh, and he's been turned round. Dale's been turned round. Skarma cuts in. Dale was on that inside line. He collects the front wheel and he falls to the back of the pack. So that good qualifying position for Dale there falls away quite dramatically. I think he got away with it. So any other action further up? Who's this side by side? An Alpha Tauri and a Williams, and I think that's Chubby Slugs really making an impact, having he's up 3 positions up into P3 on that hard compound tyre. And if he can really push Rob up into Leon, this race could be absolutely on. No, because he's clearly had the pace. He's on the hard compound tyre. He can afford to just walk up to the... You don't need to sprint back into the pack. You can just walk up to the pack. They're all still pretty close. And remember, of course, drivers in the queue physically can't drive as fast because you're constantly having to brake a little earlier and accelerate a little later so you don't run into the guy in front. Oh, he's took a second out there, no? Yeah, he's flying along. So Chubby Slug trying to drop Luca Lasso. I think any moment, Adam, I think we're going to see this break into a 3-horse race between Leon Rob, Chubby Slug. What happened to Matty? He was a driver expecting to get a better luck of the draw in the start. Oh, here's Skarma here. Is he going to try and go the long way? It's turn 4. Is he going to get that job done? And he does. And EOJ fair play to him, leaving all the space. He was very aware that Skarma's coming, and Shiv is going to capitalise on that as well. EOJ maybe just been a bit too friendly. And who was that? Was that Matty? Did he pick up any damage? He did seem to front wing into the wall. Yeah, that means his side pod's probably flying off, hanging off. So, it opens up at the front as well. So the fight really is this pack further back. Oh, so Dale got through J Doyle pretty quick. But now he's on the pack, he's got some DRS, maybe he can recover some. Good defensive drive in there, yeah. So trading on fastest laps, and look at Urban Evans, other Red Bull. Has he took damage? He must have took damage. I think he's got a bit of wing damage. Yes, he has. So front wing comes off. New one on. Fresh set of medium boots on. And away you go. Of course, safety car probability very, very high, as we said. So as long as you're on that lead lap, there is always opportunity at a track like Singapore. I would just medium. I think that's the faster way now. He started hard, right? For 14 laps. Yeah, I think medium 14 laps. So if you take them to 17, you go 20. 11 laps is still a lot. Singapore in the softs. It's good for 5. Now that could really play that soft strat. Oh, could be a safety car because that's an on-track retirement. Full course yellow. Is it a VSC? I think it could just be a VSC at the moment. I don't see safety car in the pits or leaving the pits, and it is just a VSC for now. Well, it helps Dale recover a bit of his energy. That's what every driver should be double pedalling now, always carrying a bit of brake and just topping up that battery. It's free energy, and if you can gain 15% in the driver in front, that could be enough to allow you to make a move. Right, I'm going to use this time for the restroom, Adam, quick. 1 second, sir. So, I'm back already. That quick, and back to green flags. Oh, the leader of the race, Adam! And I think that would obviously mean that the yellow flag has released him at a really bad time. Or has he tried to be cheeky and gave himself some Grail Delta and put the foot down in preparation? Because now, I don't know if you know, but in an update they changed it. So guys, you to be able to time when you get the notification, VSC ending, it's now completely random from when you get the ending sign to when the green flag appears. So, because people used to be able to time it, right, give themselves 1 second of delta, as soon as they see the sign, knowing that they can absolutely floor it and gain a big advantage. But they can no longer do that now. And I wonder if that's maybe what Leon's been caught out with. And then he goes to serve it. It's going to be a close old fight this year. And Leon needs to get aggressive here. He's got to try and hold him off because he's still got an advantage on the medium tyre. I think he should be okay, but Matty's going to have the DRS here. So it might not be over for Leon just yet. And of course, he has had tyres that have cooled. I think he is going to use a bit of energy though. And I think he clears that gap, no problem. Chubby Slug now sets the fastest lap of the race. And he is starting to make some gains on that medium comfort tyre. You enjoyed that too much. On his round! Oh man. You're cruel, Adam. Talk about a commentator's curse. Maybe a little. So the race started with a Red Bull at front and one down in 9th, and they have now almost completely swapped positions. Leon Evans down in P9, Alvin Evans in P3. Oh yeah, let me have a little watch of this fight. Is that what he is? Well, it seems like it, yeah. I see what you were saying. No energy though. I think it's just it's very easy to get caught up in a fight, right? I think drivers get too caught up in wanting to stay with a train instead of just using the first 5 laps to just settle into their pace. And then once you eventually settle into your pace, you can't push anymore because you've got no battery left. So, and I think that's what a lot of drivers get sucked into, and I think that's what you see here. Whereas Leon, who wasn't racing any day, chilling, doing his own thing, still at 40%. And that's even with him coming off the drive-through and pushing a little bit, so... Oh wow. Yeah, Jay Doyle also came in and said that it's the league's fault that they had no DRS when in qualifying it was wet. So I think that says everything we need to know about that. Yep. Settings are wrong for you, so change them. League's so wrong here, no DRS on, it not right, fucked up league it is. But it was wet in qualifying, and I've never seen DRS in wet conditions in my life. But there you go. I don't even know what to say to that. That's impressive. Yeah, like a 50 cal bullet, not just a little 5.5 thing. But he's been here for 3 or 4 laps now, Adam, and not able to get through. And this is the thing I noticed with Singapore especially. If you don't have the energy, the DRS is useless. It doesn't do anything. Yeah. That's what drivers do wrong. They push hard early and then settle into a rhythm and then realise they've got no energy, try and over push and have a crash. Whereas if you just get your rhythm first, you can use the energy to push. You don't need to push hard in the corners, you can do that in the straight bits with the energy. Off corner exits. Oh, and that is Skarma round. Has he got any? Oh, there's there a bit of contact there. The ghosting system in the game is absolutely shocking. Michelando. Skarma was doing, I mean Skarma, that's not his fault, he's nowhere to go. He's got a wall next to him, and he's going to manage to maintain a bit of track position. And Michelando and Matahiro need to be very, very careful. Skarma entitled to defend and has a bit of wing damage, so this is going to cost him some lag time. And fair play to Paul there. Fair play. Nothing, I think that may have been just somebody leaving the pits. Oh, it's Storm letting traffic through. Not getting in the way, which is fair enough. And Arwen again, have a second mind, DRS there. Not able to get the job done, but he does appear to be trying to do a bit of energy saving here, so oh, I wouldn't say he's on the better tyre now. Oh! Now that could be a shout. Recover now and on the pit stop to look at later moves. Leon Evans back up to P6, 2.6 seconds behind EOJ and gaining pretty quickly. We got a yellow flag. I think that was Mate, it's Mate at the bridge. And I think he has some cooked rear tyres. Yep. Yeah, a very naked-nosed Mercedes. I think if you run it on reduced, I don't really think it comes out the street circuits now that I think about it. I think you really need to have it in standard. But then on standard, it literally comes out for like the tiniest bit of debris in the race line, so it's a bit like there's no happy medium, you know. Oh yeah, and job done. I'm glad you caught that one, Adam, because I was not paying attention. Look at it. That's gonna stick so bad. And that's ideally what he has to do here, right? He's probably got, if there is any tyre advantage, it's for the next lap or two maximum. So if he can even put a couple of seconds on Nicolas, a couple of seconds is better than nothing. It's less he needs to gain back once he does his pit stop. A third of the way into the race though, and Rob looking pretty comfortable out front, 4.5 seconds a gap. And still extending. Yeah. So Mataman, did he have... Mataman must have got some more damage. I was wondering why he was so far off the pack, but he's now on a hard compound tyre. So Matt is on to the end. Let me see when he put this on. Yeah, I think he can probably go to the end now. So he is going to be in about the Rodders, Dale Hunter, Skarma kind of fight if he can just keep the pace up. So here we go, Leon Evans, oh sorry. It's a little 3-car battle here coming up. Adam Schiff, EOJ and Leon Evans. 5.7 seconds. See the overtaking being difficult. That 5.6 second gap could disappear just like that. So there is every opportunity that that's the case. So let's see anything else. Storm staying well out the way yet again. Good lad. I don't know. I know he is like a completely no assist guy. Uh-huh. Oh, that was a really... The rear of Storm's car just really... Off the last corner, really late in the corner, just spun right, so maybe that's why he's not pushing so hard. You did say earlier as well, Adam, you thought maybe Storm had something wrong, so... That could maybe be why. Poor Matty. On a bit of a recovery mission. Pushing on a bit. The gap is coming down. Rob was sitting at a comfortable plus 5 seconds, and what will worry Rob more is that gap's coming down when Albon should be theoretically getting close to a pit stop. So that in turn would maybe say at the moment Albon has a bit more pace than Rob. Which is allowed Shiv to get the gap to over a second. And Leon's not at energy again, I think. Although EOJ doesn't exactly have loads. Which is exactly what we want. And there's the yellow flag. I think the Storm again in the last corner. I don't understand what's going on with that McLaren. I wonder if he's done the exact same thing. See how often if people are in a rush, you know, and they go grab a setup off time trial and they don't look at the tyre pressures and they're max the way they are in TT. I think that causes a lot of issues for people. And I still think some people just don't know that the tyre pressures need to be minimal. Like they... And they are undrivable. Like the car is undrivable. Like it's night and day. Oh. Yeah. My first ever league event. I went to Austria, have a great qualifying. Oh! Oh! Oh, and Chubby slugged with tyres from the session. Yeah, I think that is because I think Mataman is out of tyres. Yeah. I think he had burnt himself out of tyres. So gap at the front Adam 2.3 seconds. And Albon now has the energy advantage. Not by much. Hey, it's an advantage. I didn't lie. After the minute you press X, it'd be empty. But you would ask yourself why? Because then you only need to do 14 on the hards, and why would you do more laps on the... Right? Like, you see what I'm saying now? I think boxing now could be smart. I think while you have momentum and your pace is flowing as well, sometimes you're better to get in and get the pit stop done and get back out and straight back in the rhythm. Yes, yeah. Oh, saying that Leon is right on the back of Shiv, and that is a fight maybe you do not want to be involved in. 19-second leader gap. Oh no, it doesn't matter, Leon Everett. Oh, can he keep out the wall? Oh, and he's cut out in front of EOJ there. Small bit of contact. Again, that's just the nature of the circuit. I don't think Leon could have done too much. He still tried to pull the car away for the racing light. But he's going to have to box. Now, that's not too bad for the medium compound tyre because that is... Oh, I thought he was going to get a drive-through penalty there. Yeah, speed in the pits penalty. I forgot they don't use it. Gap at the front though. 1.3 seconds. Skarma picks up a time penalty. Oh! Albon was so close to the wall there. I don't know if you've seen that. Well, yeah, that is true, but yeah, like I feel like he needs to box now. He needs to undercut, and he needs track position. Yeah, I'm with you there, Adam. I do agree. I feel like Albon needs track position after the pit stop rather than before the pit stop. Yeah, I would agree. So will he peel into, and he does, he's going in, so this is the race on. I will stay with Rob. You monitor where he comes, Adam. I'll stay on board with Rob, make sure he has no mistakes. And we'll see exactly how this one plays out, because this is a battle that is well and truly on. Is he going to force Rob to the early stop? Rob, of course, have just seen him do 15 laps, so Rob can look at the lap counter and say, well, I know the medium can go the distance now. So surely Rob reacts. He has to react. Oh, and he's going to be out behind Shiv and EOJ. Oh, no, and there's Michelando getting through as well. Oh. But see, the thing is, Rob Wills could get fed right into that fight as well. He was only a second up the road. So, that means EOJ, Shiv, like, if they want to just extend a bit and push to the softs, they could make a big impact in this race by holding these guys at the front up. It's guys like that's opportunity, I think, to try and do something to the leaders. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. And talent. So let's look at the gap to the leader, 26 point. Oh, Adam, this is not working out. Rob's continued. So, with every lap extended, Rob has given Albon the opportunity of the undercut. But does Rob know? Is Shiv told Rob, look, Albon's in traffic and he's stuck. You have the comfortability. Oh, so Albon released with some DRS. Oh, this race is on. Just have a sprint finish. No, 22 is good. I think 22 is good, because it adds that tyre doubt in as well. Guys will be like, oh, should we do this soft? Some will risk it, some would go for the medium for comfortability, and that makes it very enjoyable to watch. So let's go see Rob Wills, see how he's getting on. So Rob Wills seems to be using energy out of every corner now, so I think this is an in-lap. Which is clever, because he'll know that the tyre's giving him all the advantage he needs now. The energy's not only going to help small bits, and Rob is into the pits, Adam, so here we go. I am going to watch and stay on board with the McLaren, and I think that's Albon just coming through, 13 at the moment, just about to come under the bridge, right? Shook. So here we go, Rob Newton. Oh, and Rob takes a wing! Rob has took a wing, Adam! Albon's going to be in front. Oh, and Albon's released, so this is it. Race absolutely on in there. He's going to be well clear, but Rob, of course, has the tyre to close the distance. Albon is going to be way up there. It's going to be 5-6 seconds. Mika Lando even's going to get through in Rob Wills. So Mika needs to... So Rob, that for me then, 2.6 second gap to Mika. Mika's going to be going to at least 24 to make the soft work, so Rob is going to have to get that overtake done on track. So what happened to Albon on his, after his pit stop, I think Rob's going to go through some of the same treatment, so they're not going to get it easy. EOJ and Leon Evans still doing a bit of battle as well. These two have been kind of stuck at the hip since they got next to each other. Oh, is Lucas, is he doing the soft track as well? He has a bucket load of energy. I mean, he's going to be coming out the pits with close to a full tank of energy. And he is, you called that absolutely right. Oh yeah, he's confirmed it. That's absolutely right. Rodders picks up a team penalty. Ah, jinx. Ah, oh well. Looks like you're on comms for the rest yourself. So Mika Lando in. Rob released? No. And we're about to see the actual gap between, oh, and look at this, Robin Nicolas is very close. Rob just gets through and he had to be aggressive there. He made sure that door slammed firmly shut, and he had to make sure it, because oh, and a 6.5 second gap to Albon Evans. 12 laps to get the job done. Well, it's ebbed and flowed quite nicely this race. And minimal energy. So Rob is purely dependent on the tyre. The only thing is, this one lap he has a chance to break the gap to Lucas. But that's just the cold tyres, of course. Lucas will come into this, by the end of this sector, he's probably going to have a tyre that's more in the ballpark of what it should be. Rob Wills though, second up, lighting up the sectors, PBs. He's got 1 second out of Albon Evans in a sector, so gap coming down pretty quickly. And let's look at this, Mika Lando closing up in the DRS of Leon Evans. But a good tyre advantage. Oh yeah, that's right. And nobody went for the softs. Nobody chose to extend. Maybe Deg was pretty high and it put them off. So Mika Lando's absolutely stalking Leon Evans at the moment. Oh, and that's not the time to use the energy. You want to just use the DRS zone, the first DRS zone, just to close up into 1. Stay nice and close through the kink of 2 into 3. Get the launch off the exit of 3. Make sure you're absolutely on the gearbox for carrying the speed through 4. Then get your DRS open, use that energy and have a run up into 5. So let's see, can he get the job done? DRS will open. Leon Evans will get on the defensive. He's got to stay in that tone. He's going to have to lunge one here down the inside. They're going to be side by side, and there's an Alpine behind trying to get involved as well. Leon Evans is going to try and hang it round the long way. They're still going to be side by side as they head into the hairpin, and Leon Evans gets out it, and he needs to be careful because Shiv is right behind. Don't want to just accept defeat. But Mika Lando gets through, and he is probably eyeing up another P4 finish. Oh, somebody clipped the wall there. Shiv and Leon Evans, a bit of contact, possibly. I think that was. I think Shiv made a move at the hairpin, so that could make sense why there was maybe an audio cue of contact, because you're never going to get through there without having a little brush of tiles. It's not possible. The question is, oh, nice. Good snow or rubbish snow? No, nice. Snowman's in the morning. I can't build snowmans at my house because it's a main road outside. I don't think the traffic would be too happy. And it gets gritted a lot, so kinda sucks. So, gap at the front, 10 laps to go, 3... Oh! Owen Evans got a time penalty, Adam! Owen Evans has a time, so Rob only needs 4/10 of a second, and that is... And, oh, look, Lass. That should perk him up. Get on your energy, boy. There's a P2 here. Just got to close the distance, you have the tyre, you have the energy. 6/10 up, so setting some good lap times. And a shame for Owen Evans there. Yes, I know, I hear you. Oh, and who's that diving into the pits? Who's that? Rob Wells? Rob Wells? Did Rob Wells get damage? He did! Rob Wells has got damage! He's lost the end plate, and that changes absolutely everything. And Mika Lando now could be eyeing up the podium. Oh no, he's got no. Rob's still going to be comfortably in. Oh no, but look at this, Mika Lando not coming through the last corner. Oh, it's going to be close. Rob is going to be in a bit of a fight here. He's going to be fed straight into Mika Lando and Shiv. I'm going to watch this. In fact, Mika Lando and Shiv's both going to be through. So Rob is now in a battle with Shiv and Mika Lando for that last spot in the podium. My God, how that is woken the battle up at the front. Look, Lass, if he can find 3 seconds, he'd take his first ever win in P0. But if he wants the podium back, he's got to clear Mika. 1 second, Adel. Need the restroom. I am back. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Oh, so that battle is about to ignite. Look, that's only 1.5 seconds away from his maiden victory. Oh, because they are not going to give him an inch either, I don't think. and Mika Lando will not be pushed over. This man has been screaming for a podium all season, and it has never came. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see quite a stellar fight from himself. And Rob Wills joins the battle with utterly no energy. And look, Ola's got the gap, 1.2 seconds needed. So how does it play out? Just about to tick. Oh, we're on 7 laps to go, or 8 laps to go, I should say. So Rob, I think, needs to get punchy somewhere unorthodox. Yeah, and then that gives him a couple of laps. And that there could be just what he needs. Oh, and if he should have been more aggressive there, Shiv put himself a little out of line. And the entrance to 5, which I thought was going to give Rob the opportunity to roll up the inside. Careful on that inside curb, that could push you wide into the wall. And now Rob is eyeing them up, so he's starting to take the different lines. He's looking for corner exit advantage to try and get something done. But it's not the Shiv move that's the critical one, right? So that's the interesting thing. And where it's probably Rob stuck in two minds, he'll feel he needs to push through Shiv. He's got to get through Shiv, but he needs that energy to get the job done in Mika. It's a tricky one. He's just going to have to be brave, I think, somewhere. Yeah. And do a bit of a Lewis Hamilton capitalising on Sainz and Perez at Britain kind of scenario. Although he's got a bit of a run here, he definitely could be brave on the brakes. But Shiv, even braver. Oh, and is he going to try and go around the long way at the hairpin? Oh, and they're going to be side by side up into turn 8. Oh, nearly a bit of contact. And Shiv, the wily old fox, holds him at bay. And he tried. That's what I feel Rob's going to have to do. It's going to have to be something like that. Oh, Shiv is a big oversteer moment, and that's the opportunity. He needs the DRS will open, and now it's going to be a drag race down the back straight, and I think Rob will be able to stick the nose of his McLaren ahead and use the tyre. Oh my god. And Alban Evans, he's going to feel robbed. I don't know if it's a guaranteed podium. It's probably not even going to be that. Leon Evans is going to feel a massive victory here. You did. Oh, and who's that? Mika Lando went round! No, and that's not the time to have a spin. You do not want to give up any track position. Oh, no. And did Alban Evans and Lukolas miss the pit stop? Yes, they did. Nah, they should still get to pit because of the deltas. Yeah, they should be okay. It just means, of course, they have a fresher tyre than everybody else at the start. they actually get a little bit of an advantage. And see, the thing is here, what drivers are going to have to be aware of, Adam, is this grid does not get to reclose. Not everybody gets on the pack here. They will go at lap 28 whether they like it or not, or the end of lap 28, so 2 laps for the field to close, and if you're not on the pack, the safety car will go in whether they like it or not. So I would assume everybody goes to the soft compound tyre. Scarlet on a new medium. Yeah. I mean, look at that. Rob is 1 minute 4 seconds behind, and he's going to have to use tyre. Are they still on Delta? See, if they don't push and they don't catch, it's a tough old dilemma here. Now they're on the safety car, that gap will come down much faster. I think Rob is going to be okay at the pace he's going. I think this is a nice speed. And in fact, everybody behind him he's probably doing them a favour. Do a bit more double pedalling, Rob. Build that energy up, because what you don't want to do is be using energy when you go round and then not have a lot of inlet with the safety car to build the energy, whereas Albert Evans and Luke Lass are going to easily have 100% in their tank by the time the safety car comes in now. So, if Rob keeps rolling up to the back of them like this, and then the safety car goes in only a sector later, there's no way he gets that to 100%, I don't think. But boy, are we in for the last few laps here. This could be an utter treat. No. And he's going to look at 2 penalties ahead. He's essentially in the top 4. He's going to fancy his chances. Rob Wills gets a bit of a lifeline after that damage that kind of knocked him out of the contention and put him into a fight that he shouldn't have been a part of. Rodders as it is. So, end of this lap, safety car will come in. So guys like Dale and EOJ, they got to push on just a little bit now, ensure themselves on the back of the pack. Oh, I think it's just Dale actually, Dale's the only driver. Why I recommend double pedalling as well for the guys, for anybody that watches back, I strongly recommend, if you don't do this, you should spend time on your throttle and your brake. Like, keep the brake pedal in ever so slightly and keep topping up the battery. Not only does that top the battery up and ensure you're at 100%, you should do that under any VSC or safety car. Like in Rob's situation here, because it's at 60%, might not get it to full. You should always just make sure it gets to full. You also maintain tyre temperature. The carcass temperature stays up because your brakes are hot, which saves wear on the tyre. You don't need to spend as much time weaving, because of course you're heating the tyres up with the brakes. So there's just small advantages. The small things. In a situation like this where you're about to go into a 3-lap shootout and any tiny bit of an advantage could be the difference between a race victory or podium or not, I think these are the times to utilise scenarios like that, you know, or strategies like that. So safety car, no call for safety car in this lap, which I'm stunned by. We're literally going to get 2 laps of racing. And Rodders has took himself out of that front 3 fight. He does not want to be a part of it, which I think if he's done that to take himself out of that, that's credit where credit is due. Yes, he did not want to impede Rob. He understands very much that there's a fight for the race win on here, so and it is going to be 2-lap shootout only. It's, yep, driver only. And who's brave enough to take risk? Because to get a move done here without DRS is going to take a lot of risk. And a driver like Shiv, who's in that situation where he could, if he could jump a couple of guys early, within a couple of laps, anything happening behind him, he clears his penalty and he finishes well. So the risk is probably more worth it for Shiv, because nonetheless he's going to finish behind Leon anyway, and not behind the rest because they've also got penalties. So like, it's a no-lose situation for Shiv. So he's the man to watch. Alwyn Evans takes control of the pace. Safety car is away. Yeah, it is. Safety car in this lap. I had to relook at that there. So when do you release the pack? With 2 laps to go, my personal opinion would be as late as possible. You want to give everybody as minimal opportunity to do anything. But also, I think with 2 laps to go, you should do it in a place that you're most comfortable. And he is away now off the second to last corner, and Rob Wills has got a tremendous restart. He's going to put Luke Lass under pressure straight away. Adam, he'll go to the outside line. He's going to try and run it around the long way. He'll force Luke Lass into a compromise line, but unable to get the job done. Shiv right there on the gearbox of Rob Wills. Also, Mika Landos fell behind a bit. He maybe get caught napping just a little bit at the restart. There's a Mercedes being pulled off at the rear of the track. Not quite sure what's happened there. Dale's Hunter all over the back of EOJ as well. But Skarma holding on well. He's got an 8/10 gap up ahead. EOJ on his medium compound tyre, but Leon Evans, he's pretty close to Mika Lando. Mika Lando did not want to lose that kind of gap that early in this 2-lap shootout. Now, can they get the job done? Alwyn Evans is scampering into the distance, so Rob Wills is really going to have to push. But I think with the energy, I don't see anybody really moving here. Luke Lass is very much on for his maiden victory in P0. I'm pretty sure it's his maiden victory. I've not watched for a couple of weeks and I've not kept track of results, but I'm pretty sure the day back in comms, Luke Lass is going to take the race win, unless in a lap somehow Alwyn Evans can find 1.9 seconds. the Welsh... Oh, Shiv? Talking about Shiv again? Oh, Arwen. Oh yeah, Welsh. I forgot they're Welsh. Oh, Shiv's had a little bit of a moment there that's going to cost him some time. And it's unfortunately as well, Shiv, look, he's got it up to 1.5 seconds almost, Adam. With 1 map to go, 1 map, 1.5. If he does that again, he could clear that penalty. Arwen Evans takes the fastest lap of the race. And I think Rob Wills is consoling himself to second place. And who's had a moment that's in and somebody's went on to wet tyres, I think Matty. So I think it is, bar any mistake, it's going to be Lukolas for the win. Rob Wills will be P2, but how does P3 work itself out? I think Arwen Evans is going to have it covered. He's about 0.7 of a second away from holding P3 off. And Shiv not quite able to get the distance that he needs on Mikel Lando. So I think Mikel Lando's going to bring home yet another P4 this season. Unless Leon Evans has anything to say about that, although absolutely no energy. Although he's got a bit more than Mikel Lando, so can Leon Evans get the run off the hairpin? Nah, Mikel Lando's got a good exit. We'll go on board with Arwen Evans. And bear in mind, Arwen started 9th on the grid. Not a good qualifying at all. Or 8th in the grid, but he fought through adversity and somehow managed to bring that Red Bull up to the front of the pack as he nearly hits the wall there, and that's definitely going to console Lukolas. And is that cost Arwen Evans the podium here? Oh, I don't think it... Oh no, he's spun! He's spun! He needs to get the car across the line. This changes everything. He's not across the line yet. He's not across the line, Adam. He's only took the checkered flag and it all came crumbling down. Mikel Lando ends up on the podium. Arwen Evans is only P6. Oh, Arwen, no. Oh, what happened? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, Adam. Have you ever seen a podium slip away from somebody like that? Oh. Did you? Yeah, I think thoroughly deserved. I'm going to get Lukolas soon. I'll get them in, see what they say. Have a little chit chat. Lukolas, Mr. Rob and Mr. White, right?
Yes.
Where is Rob? And where's Chris White? Why don't I see Chris White? No, I'll just do it this way. Bear with me 1 second, chat. Okay, you add him. I'll add the other two. Easy peasy. Cannot add one or more players because of their settings. Oh, Lukolas needs to change his settings, I think. Did I add Rob? I did. So Lukolas will need to change his settings. Bear with us 1 second, Rob. Lukolas couldn't be invited to the party because of a setting. Rob, quick question. Is that Lukolas' maiden victory in P0?
Yes,
I was calling it out in the race. Oh, thank God I was not stupid. Woo! So let me just see in the chat. Are you pinging him in the chat?
I'll just WhatsApp him now.
Nice, nice. Just to change it and get him in. A nice way to come back to comms, that. Seen a new winner?
Yeah, you picked a hell of a race. Fair play to you.
It was very enjoyable. Sorry, I choked there in my excitement.
You can all thank me for that safety car lap 25.
I know, Adam literally, he did. Lap 25 safety car, and, well, it happened.
No, I said lap 20, and then I said, oh, actually, it was 25 for everyone else.
So we will start with the man of the moment, Luke Olas. Good evening.
Hello. Hi, how's it going?
You always kept yourself kind of in that fight, and I mean, even if Alvin Evans didn't have the penalty in the end, it was always going to come to you with probably one of the most dramatic finishes I've ever seen. I don't know if you even noticed what happened to Alvin in front,
Yeah,
but
I didn't know whether he'd crossed the line or not when he spun. But
no,
obviously
he
after I
was
finished, I saw
about
everyone
20
going
feet
ahead.
short. But what a race! A cracking way to take your maiden victory in P0.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain. It was quite good. I quite like the track, so it's a good one to come on. But yeah, it's hard work.
Did you enjoy it? Your pace was always, you were always kind of in that top four fight throughout the race, right? And then we were kind of willing you on. Adam noticed you were one of the only drivers in that top four that was really holding on to their energy well. Like literally, that you had about a 30% advantage to every driver round about you. So it was clear to see there was still some more pace in there. But then that late safety car comes, and you know that Albon's got the penalty. So what's your mindset from there? Do you just I just need to stay behind him and make sure nobody overtakes me and I can win?
Yeah, so originally I'd settled for kind of having a podium because I still would have been the first podium. Obviously Rob had his little moment, and then all of a sudden I think a lap or two later Arwin's penalty came up. So it was like, right, okay, I can probably try and eat into his gap being on the faster tyre. And then after the safety car it was kind of like, don't really need to go for any risky moves, try and defend off Rob at the restart and give it what I can to stay within 3 seconds really. So paid off in the end.
Yeah, which you did. I think pre-spin, Arwin had a little moment just coming out the tunnel, which I think the gap was going up, but then that kind of conceded that it was always going to be your day today. Rob, do we have more races ahead?
Do we have more races ahead? Yeah, absolutely.
P0, yes.
1, 2, 3, 5. We have 5 to go.
5 to go. Lucolas, can we see you some more before the season end?
Well, I'll try my best. Yeah, I mean, I've been okay with my pace so far. I've done a couple of spins, so if I can try and keep it clean, maybe we can come back. Yeah, well, it only takes one, doesn't it, to knock you out of contention sometimes, so...
That is a very, very good point. Nevertheless, very, very good job today. Look, it was honestly a very, very solid drive. You never took any big risks. You just kept yourself in contention, and sometimes that's the best thing needed on race day because you see drama happens round about you, and the race played perfectly right into your lap. So very well deserved. If you didn't drive and keep yourself in the positions, you wouldn't have been able to win the race. And I think Mikel Landa got it from the game. I think if there was one coming from the combox, I would have gave you driver of the day as well, because there's no better way to celebrate a maiden win than with some recognition. So good job today, sir. Very, very good drive.
Thank you very much.
Rob.
Hello.
A race of mixed emotions, sir. It was a bit up and down, Rob. Certainly not smooth sailing. I didn't want to say that.
Let's stop sugarcoating it. I was cruising, I was winning by miles, and decided to stop paying attention and broke my own wing.
Now, hang on though, Rob, hang on. Did you feel under pressure when Arwin got behind you?
No, I was fine. I was managing the gap. It was... my energy were already dead. It was dead after like 3 laps. It's a horrible track for it, so I gave up trying. Yes, so you're right. So when I was behind Arwin, he was on a faster tyre, so I just thought I'm going to leave him to do what he's doing because he's on an alternate strategy and my race comes to me later on. When I got ahead, I tried to push on. When Theon was ahead. once he'd had his drive through, I tried to push on a bit, but I was fine. I didn't feel under pressure, and I just one lapse in concentration broke my wing, and then chasing Arwin after safety car just dropped it and broke my wing again. So yeah, that was that, and it was all my own fault, and I probably should have won, but I didn't.
But still, you let somebody take their maiden victory, so what's wrong with that?
It's nothing wrong with that, and I still beat both Red Bulls, so I caught up a little bit, not much, but I caught a little bit.
And no,
No, and if Arwin hadn't have been a complete donkey, he would have caught his brother by quite a lot. Because he would have possibly won that race or come second, and his brother were 5th, 6th, they would have, he's 17, he's 50 odd points behind, so that would have been a massive swing at that point, because he could have gained 20 points. So it would have brought it down to about 30, but now he's kind of done that, he's messed himself up a little bit. It's Theon's to lose at this point, because he's 17, 47, 55 points clear with 5 to go.
which, yeah, one bad race, one DNF, you know, 5 races is very easy to lose.
I'm back into the top 3 after being a complete moron for the first half of the season.
So can you still win the championship mathematically?
Mathematically, yes, because I'm only 48, 78, 86 behind, so mathematically, yes, I can still win.
But you're probably looking for a DNF and a really
Second.
bad result.
Yeah, I need
Out of
probably 2
Arwin.
DNFs actually at this point.
But still,
Theon's still on to win the championship without winning a race.
which would be no,
No.
he's not. Yeah, I've seen that stat. I've seen you talking about that the other day. Nevertheless, back to the day, Rob.
Yeah,
I think
I'll take it. It wasn't great, but it's the best result out of a bit of a mess.
yeah, I was going to say when you're having a bad race but still come on P2, I think you can kind of accept that that's just one
Yeah.
you can take and move on.
Absolutely.
So very good drive, sir. Well,
Thank you.
minus
Yeah.
the little moment. A good drive out with that. Mr. Chris,
Mr. Chris.
finally, or again, we have this conversation. I'm sure I spoke to you the last time we done comms, if not the time before.
Canada.
Canada.
Was that 2 ago? And I says, well, I'll speak to you again soon. You said, hopefully, and here we are. The very next time I'm back. You're
Yeah.
back on the podium. Some momentum, sir. Well, I don't know the last few races results. How
Yeah,
have
no,
you
it
been?
is. It's,
So
it's a
the-
welcome change of fortune for me.
Good. And that was, I think, a race you were always kind of in a fight with somebody, but you just kept your nose clean.
Yeah, well, as you yourself once famously said to me at Australia last year, you know, if you keep your nose clean, anything can happen. And I won that race, didn't I? So from the back of the grid.
Yep.
And again, this one,
P12?
P12, yeah, qualifying was horrific. I just couldn't get the car to sit still when I was trying to get on the throttle. And then, yeah, bad quality. But the race, I mean, there were a few spins. I spun myself literally on the safety car we were all heading in, and I dropped it. And this is sickening. But, I mean, I get to the podium, so I'm happy. But at that point, I was, yeah, you know, a bit annoyed to say the least. But no, considering what's happened in the last few races, though, I take this with a massive relief.
And where do we go to next? Where is next?
Japan.
Japan. Which is
How
another
do you
big
go
track for
there,
me.
Chris? You go well?
So the last 2 races have been a podium and a win, so I'll take that.
At Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Oh, so you feel really confident getting into next week?
I like Japan. I mean, a race with you guys in realistic, and if I can get the start, then I get myself into a groove. I'm good, I think.
Oh, I look forward to that then. Japan could be a very entertaining race. Nevertheless, a driver of the day from the game, which I think from your starting position was very thoroughly deserved, Chris. And
Yeah.
yeah, I hope the fortune continues. You're a driver that's always there. Aye. But that's that is
I
the
had
Chris
Shiv
way.
and Rob on me, and that was it. I was just like, oh my god.
Head down racing, that's what did it for me. If you get into any trouble, you just run about your business and the positions come to you.
So I wasn't actually running the setup. Sorry, I wasn't actually running my setup from time trial because I forgot to save it, and I couldn't for the life of me remember what everyone's wing levels were. So I was actually running a 35, 40 wing level, so naturally my straight line speed was protecting me. But yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense because Shiv was behind you for a while with DRS and just couldn't do anything. It was
No,
like,
he couldn't touch me.
no, he couldn't even close the gap. So that makes a lot of sense, which shows that in a track where you run a lot of wing, if you can cope with that little bit less wing in the corners, and makes you a very hard man to overtake when the opportunities, the good opportunities or the DRS opportunities come.
Yeah.
So maybe a strategical masterclass in forgetting the setup. We'll go
Yeah,
with
we'll
that
go with
anyway. So good job, Chris. Very, very
Yeah,
good
thank you.
effort, and I hope the fortune continues.
Thank
So
you.
Adam, do you have anything? Yeah, carry on, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
He's gone. Apparently we don't turn DRS on in the rain, so it's all our fault or something. I don't know. I
Yeah.
tried to message him, see what he was actually talking about, and he blocked me. So
No, it's because he's not on the server anymore.
no, I tried to message him privately.
You would need to add him as a friend.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so just that, Adam. Just a donkey remark. I respect
And one
it.
last point from me: Red Bull will probably win the constructors' next race. They need about 12 points, or Alpine have got to have a 1-2 for every race at end of season.
Well, I'm going to be streaming P0 out for the rest of the season anyway because it gives us some channel momentum as the new
Marvellous.
seasons come back in. So
Ferrari only has one driver, so we're
I'm
looking for
just
someone.
I'm not going to do any streaming on my channel. I've got into the YouTube channel. I'm just going to stay. I'm not logging out it now. It's just staying on
Yeah.
my. That's the safest way. It can just stay like that over Christmas. But that's not a conversation for a stream. So is that I did. Is that us, Adam? For us, thank you for joining me. It was nice to have your clumsy voice in the comms box once more. And well done again to Lucolas, most importantly, in his maiden victory in P0. Well done to Rob. Well done to Chris. And that is us this fine Sunday. So until is it next week? Are we racing or
Yes.
World Cup final
Yeah.
stopping that or what?
No, because it's 3 PM World Cup final, so we will be racing as normal.
So join us next Sunday for some Japan. I look forward to it. We will see you very soon.